No mess, no grease, no fuss. New Formula Fairy, shaking up the washing up. Here tomorrow, the Good Morning Britain team are joined by Kim Burrell, who identifies herself as an elf. That's live from 6. Then it's the final on Saturday, so with all the goss from The Voice, will.i.am joins Lorraine at 8:30. Then armed with those DNA results, Jeremy Kyle's back at 9:25, followed by loads of tips on getting glowing skin on a budget. Yes, please. That's this morning at 10:30. And foxtrotting onto the panel. Strictly's Oti joins the Loose Women at 12:30. Now the latest ITV news in the Calendar region.
Good evening, welcome to ITV News. This is Tuesday night's calendar with Duncan Wood and Gaynor Barnes.
And these are tonight's main stories.
As police are urged to investigate Sir Gary Verrett's expenses claims, the behaviour of the former tourism boss is also called into question again.
He was not just demanding, but abusive. He liked to belittle me and others in front of other people. It was really humiliating and unnecessary.
Teaming up to tackle diabetes, the new scheme helping people make healthier choices.
Messing about on the water, how the specially adapted boats are helping everyone to experience the joys of sailing.
An important day for the Calendar girls as they reunite to celebrate 20 years since they bared all. First tonight, two new developments in the controversy surrounding the sudden departure of the Yorkshire tourism boss, Sir Gary Verrett.
There have been calls today from a Lib Dem peer for a full police investigation into his expenses, while two PAs who worked for the former chief executive have told Calendar of his alleged bullying.
It all comes on the eve of Welcome to Yorkshire's 10th anniversary celebrations tomorrow, and as a board meeting was held at its headquarters this afternoon. Sally Simpson has more.
Yes, the controversy continues tonight as Welcome to Yorkshire tries to move forward following their chief executive's shock departure just over a week ago on health grounds. Well, we believe the purpose of today's meeting has been to discuss the circumstances in which Sir Gary Verrett resigned his post and to look at appointing a replacement at what is the start of a very busy time for Welcome to Yorkshire, the eve of their 10th anniversary. Well, while we're assured an independent review is to take place, there are growing calls tonight for a criminal inquiry into expense irregularities, which Sir Gary has admitted and we're told has voluntarily reimbursed, and any possible misuse of public funds. Those calls have been led by the Lib Dem peer Lord Scriven, a former leader of Sheffield City Council. This is what he told me a little earlier.
I think it's astonishing that potential fraud of taxpayers' money has occurred, and the board doesn't think it's appropriate to call in the police. That's why I personally have written to West Yorkshire Police, because on the face of it, a crime may have been committed, and I want them to do a thorough investigation and decide whether any individual has to be accountable for a potential crime.
Well, police have confirmed receipt of that letter, but say they have nothing further to add tonight. Sir Gary has declined to give any interviews since his resignation due to the health issues he's currently dealing with. A statement released by his spokesman today, however, said expenses were submitted in the ordinary course and signed off. However, on review, it was agreed that some errors had been made, and Sir Gary was content to repay the money to Welcome to Yorkshire, which he did last month, prior to the announcement of his departure. It was rightly accepted that while Sir Gary made errors, it was nothing more than that. Well, we know Welcome to Yorkshire were setting up one investigation. In fact, we've now learned they're setting up two. One into those concerns about expenses and another into behaviour since Sir Gary's appointment more than 10 years ago. Well, two of his former PAs have spoken exclusively to Calendar about what they say they experienced working for him. Let's hear from them now. He spent more than a decade building a reputation as the charismatic businessman who showcased Yorkshire to the world. But tonight, further allegations which suggest a different side to Sir Gary Verity, with claims from two former personal assistants that he bullied them and other staff.
He was not just demanding, but abusive. He liked to belittle me and others in front of other people. It was really humiliating and unnecessary. Everybody knew about his behaviour. When I complained to one of the directors about his behaviour and his constant abuse, I was just told to stand up to him.
Helen Long says she made no formal complaint against Sir Gary, but questioned his behaviour on several occasions. She was told her services were no longer required 5 months into her 6-month probation period. She says it took a long time to get over and she was prescribed antidepressants.
I was made to feel like some kind of criminal, like I'd done something so bad. It was hideous. It was really upsetting. The more I stood up to him and challenged him over certain things, and I dared to answer back, then it became worse, did the abuse. I believe several people did complain.
About what?
About his behaviour, about the excessive workload. That was another one of his traits. The workload was so excessive that it was physically impossible to get it done. And when you didn't, you were made to look inefficient, hopeless.
And others are coming forward, including another of Sir Gary's former PAs, who did not make a formal complaint at the time. Today she spoke of her experiences, but didn't want to be identified.
I recall a Jekyll and Hyde personality sometimes. Whilst there was this persona that he was amazing and that he's done all these great things, nobody saw the whole kind of team effort that was put in there, and the stress that everybody was put under and how they were made to feel as well. He's become a monster in his apparent success.
Sir Gary stepped down last week on health grounds with immediate effect. Welcome to Yorkshire's chairman told us there had been some issues around Sir Gary's expenses and also around bullying and aggressive behaviour which happened when Sir Gary was ill.
What were your thoughts when you heard that Sir Gary Verity had resigned?
I was pleased. I was very pleased. I thought it was a long time coming. I think it's absolutely appalling, disgusting that he was allowed to go on for so long.
He was like a runaway train and just continued to do whatever it was he saw fit, or what he wanted to do really. His behaviour has gone on long enough for people thinking he's some sort of hero and it's all about him, when it's not just about that individual.
Is it not just sour grapes on your part what happened?
No, absolutely not. The board are complicit in this for allowing him to carry on. They knew all along about his behaviour, definitely.
In a statement, Sir Gary said today, "This anonymous account is misleading. As I said on resigning, it was an honour to work with and a privilege to lead an inspirational organisation such as Welcome to Yorkshire, as well as to work with such a creative and talented team. This was always a team effort and I have always recognised this fact." A spokesman added, "Sir Gary's recollection of events is far removed from that of Ms Long's. She was employed for only a short period of time and did not pass her probationary period. Sir Gary wishes her well for the future." Today, Welcome to Yorkshire said an independent review was underway, and if that highlights any irregularities, investigations will take place, and whatever steps need to be taken will be taken.
Back to Sally at the headquarters of Welcome to Yorkshire. What have they told us about the investigations they're launching this afternoon, Sally?
Well, they say they take any allegations very seriously and they're determined to investigate them fully, and they've notified West Yorkshire Police of their intention to do that. They say as soon as the independent organisations have been appointed, anyone who believes they've been affected by these issues will be invited to come forward. They add they will be fully supported and all accounts will be treated in the strictest of confidence.
Possibly couldn't come at a worse time for Welcome to Yorkshire.
That's right, as you say, the eve of their 10th anniversary is a key moment in their calendar as they prepare to